Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys, I go by the name Rainams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho na nipimia, na kama sina pesa ungewezi nipimia. Hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, da kumenya mawazo makuu. Nani anadera shida? Oh, utani wako.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni. Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world, right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagowa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then. Good evening. Welcome to today's news recap. My name is Lavin Nyagowa. Let me take you through what has been happening throughout this entire week. Senators are now escalating demands for the impeachment of Public Service CS Moses Kuria following his remarks on the Senate's handling of Governor Kawira Mwangaza's impeachment. Senators Aaron Cheroyot and Stuart Mazayo accuse Kuria of interfering with the proceedings.
A section of senators have urged the National Assembly to consider impeaching the public CS Moses Kuria over his embarrassing statements. This was after the CS made remarks against the senators over the impeachment of Governor Kawira Mwangaza. The CS tweeted, and I quote, "I have studied carefully the issues presented against Governor Kawira. The most serious offense is that she does what Kikuis call kuangalia watu wa Manyira. That offense can take you to hell, but not to jail. Certainly not a ground for impeachment." End of quote. The senators, led by the leader of majority Aaron Cheroyot, warned that Kuria had attempted to interfere with the impeachment hearing. Senator Cheroyot claimed the CS was an embarrassment into the Kenya Kwanza government and President William Ruto.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Senate, I want to register my disappointment in the increasingly unbecoming conduct of Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria, a man who's continually embarrassing the appointing authority and casting serious doubts on the choice ability of none other than His Excellency, the President. Mr. Speaker, sir, that tweet was in bad taste. It paints senators as cheap people who have no cognitive abilities to make interpretation of the matters that are before us and make a sober decision that is in the interest of the Constitution and the people of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, this is the 14th impeachment hearing that the Senate is hearing. and I've had opportunity to vote in almost all of them. I take great exception in the conduct of Moses Kuria, in the tweet that he sent out, and the things that he said about this House and the colleagues that he's listed. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I now agree with members of this House who have brought censure motion before to discuss the conduct of this particular minister, because at every given opportunity, he has done nothing other than embarrass the appointing authority. In fact, it is my submission, Mr. Speaker, that the earlier CS Moses Kuria is let off his duty, the better for this administration, Mr. Speaker. Because every single day, in every action that he undertakes, he continues to embarrass the president and the people. No wonder the people of Kiambu resoundingly rejected his bid to be their governor, Mr. Speaker.
Homa Bay Senator Otieno Kajwang called on their counterparts at the National Assembly to bring the impeachment motion, as it is the House which is mandated to do so by the law. The ODM senator also appealed to the Senate Majority Leader to whisper the concern raised by the Senate to the President, who is the appointing authority.
Mr. Speaker, those kind of utterances have got the effect of belittling this House and taking away any credibility this House would have in future impeachment. Mr. Speaker, the many impeachments that we have processed in this House, if the conduct of CS Moses Kuria was to be considered, his conduct falls within the threshold of impeachment. If he was a governor and if he was brought to this House, he would definitely be impeached. And Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the members of the other House, because they're the ones who have the responsibility of censuring and sending home cabinet secretaries, to take serious judicial notice of the conduct of this particular cabinet secretary, and this House, through the relevant committee, can come up with resolutions that can then be used to move the other House to discuss his conduct and to have him censured. And I hope that Senator Cheriot, because you've got the ear of the president who's the appointing authority, let us not just complain in this House. Go and tell the boss that this guy is an embarrassment, not just to the government, but to the Republic of Kenya. He is an embarrassment to the entire East Africa. The deals he has done has made Kenya look like a pariah when it comes to issues of supply chain of oil and edible oil. Mr. Speaker, this man must go.
Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna expressed concerns about how much President Ruto can take from his CSs who continue to embarrass the government.
Mr. Speaker, one of the things that I ask myself is just how much embarrassment does the president have capacity to endure? And I can assure you that if nothing is done about Moses Kuria, there is more embarrassment coming. That one I can guarantee. Mr. Speaker, what is most hurtful is that even after your communication, the CS who ordinarily should be asleep thinking about how he's going to make the lives of Kenyans better had the audacity to fire off another tweet on material that was presented before this House. Mr. Speaker, what I want us to do, honestly speaking, action must be taken. I am actually made aware by the members of this House who represent us in the PSC that Moses Kuria ran away with money belonging to Parliament. He should actually be brought to answer questions about those things and removed from his position, because for me, really, there's nothing that brings me greater joy than being proven right about the things that I've said about this administration.
The Senate is expected to invite the CS to appear before the plenary, offer his controversial remarks. Reporting for TAS TV, I am Gabriel Kimare.
Azimio leader Raila Odinga has lambasted the Kenya Kwanza government, accusing them of incompetence in addressing the escalating cost of living. Speaking to university students at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation, Odinga attributed the surge in fuel prices to a controversial government deal, allegedly benefiting a few individuals within President William Ruto's administration. He rejected calls to pressure the government on the cost of living, highlighting the inconsistency of those making the demands as previously opposed Azimio coalition protests.
You see, today people are suffering all over. If those who are saying that demonstrations by Azimio inaharibu biashara yetu, leo wanakuja wanasema baba yuko wapi? Na baba ako kimya. He's not talking. Because they say that demonstrations are destroying our businesses. No, their businesses are being destroyed not by demonstrations but through taxation. Si wanakula watoto yake. Sasa wanasema ati mkuki kwa nguruwe, kwa binadamu ni chungu. They came up with what they're calling G2G, that themselves are now buying directly from Abu Dhabi and from Saudi Arabia. But they themselves are the ones who are making the commissions. That's why the cost of fuel is going up. That money is actually ending up in the pockets of the same people here. And you cannot be one person, you're Mr. President. You are the permanent secretary in all ministries. You are the minister in all ministries. You know everything. Even if El Nino is coming, you don't know the El Nino is not coming. The work which should be done by the director of meteorology is being done by you as a president.
Prominent South African politician and leader of the economic freedom fighters Julius Malema has taken aim at Kenyan President William Ruto, criticizing him for allegedly failing to fulfill campaign promises made during the 2022 general elections. Malema, who was in the country to launch the Pan-African Institute at Lukenya University, accused President Ruto of double standards, particularly regarding the issue of dollarization. Malema claimed that while advocating for African countries to consider dollarization, President Ruto is simultaneously collaborating closely with entities considered unfavorable.
I don't know if President William Ruto means it, because he said so many things and I can't locate him these days, because the things he said during election and the things he's doing now are two different things. I don't know. I heard him saying we need to do away with the dollar and build our own currency, but his actions are not speaking to anything of doing away with the dollar. The Pan-African call is a call for African unity, not cooperation, collaboration, or coexistence. Many of you confuse the unity of Africa to mean collaboration or cooperation. We don't want to cooperate, we don't want to collaborate, we want to be one, and being one means we must share the same vision and the same direction.
In a bid to bring government services closer to the people, Public Service Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria has announced plans to establish Huduma centers in sub-counties. Speaking during the 10th anniversary celebration of Huduma Kenya in Nakuru County, CS Kuria highlighted the efficiency of government services through Huduma Kenya, but emphasized the need for more centers. Huduma CEO Benjamin Kai affirmed the commitment to the Huduma Mashinani drive, ensuring broader access to government services for all Kenyans.
Tunataka kila sub-county, kila constituency iwe na huduma center yake. Pia tutashirikiana na wabunge wenu, na katika kipindi cha wiki 3 nitaenda nifanya kikao na wabunge wote, tufanye kushirikiana. Mbunge atoe pesa ya CDF ajenge Huduma Center.
Huduma Kenya imeanza kujiweka katikati ya zile huduma za dijitali na Wakenya, kwa sababu Wakenya wengi bado wengine hawana gadgets, hawana simu za smartphones, wengine hawana bundles. Sisi kama Huduma Kenya pale tunahudumia Wakenya wote.
Away from that, a Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union KMPDU is opposing the newly enacted Social Health Insurance Fund Act. The union contends that the act threatens to disenfranchise civil servants and their dependents from healthcare access, infringes upon the right to healthcare, and violates a collective signing agreement reached by civil servants in 2011. Medical practitioners argue that if implemented as it is, the law could escalate the cost of healthcare in the country.
It then means that the monetary deductions is going to increase threefold. That means if you are paying 1,700, you're going to pay 5,000. You won't be assured to access care in all the hospitals. And that's why we are saying this must change. There's a gross injustice and a breach of our duly signed collective bargaining agreements on the provisions of the comprehensive cover. This particular Social Health Insurance Act, we will say, are discriminations on the informal sector. And why we are saying this, that is in this bill that says that all the informal sector employees, those who are in the informal sector, who are not salaried, will have to contribute their premiums annually, upfront. The government doesn't trust its own people to make sure that they all pay even if they don't have.
Now, we had on a very short commercial break. Remember, we still have more for you. So see you guys in a bit.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys? I go by the name Reynams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho na nipimia, na kama sina pesa ungewezi nipimia hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, da kumenya mawado mako. Nani anedera shire. Oh, arutani waku.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
What's your name?
My name is Kevin Kakum.
Gitui Francis. From which school?
Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. What did you learn while at TAS TV?
Improvement of my skills in graphics, such as motion graphics, video editing, photography, also communication skills.
Camera operations, video editing, and improved my skills in graphic design.
Would you recommend anyone?
Yes, nilikuwa hapa TAS, skills zangu zili improve on communication, fellow co-workers, and teamwork when doing certain projects.
Yes, new skills in photography. Communication, I have built more in communications through interaction with other colleagues or people outside there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your attachment at TAS TV?
7.
8.
Generally, what will you say about TAS TV?
Wow, it's amazing being here.
I think it's the best place to be. Yeah.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying put. Now, moving on, the Kenya Power and Lightning Company has announced plans to tackle the nationwide transformer backlog within the next 2 months. Managing Director Engineer Joseph Siror informed the Parliamentary Energy Committee that the current backlog of 320 transformers is being addressed with the acquisition of 140 new transformers. Additionally, customers who have waited for the past 2 years will be connected. Kenya Power disclosed being owed over 26 billion and says the recovery of these funds could aid in addressing some of the company's challenges.
This does not account for the new applications. The ones which have been received are the ones that I've told you that we've already installed about 140,000. The ones which are currently under installation is another 32,000. I think there are 22,000 which was released over the weekend.
Where have they been installed?
No, I mean in
across
all
the country.
Across the country. Even our latest attempt, which we did in May, again faced a lot of litigation. This time we put a very spirited attempt to ensure that it really expedited. So of course it went fast, they lost the case, they rushed back to PPRA, and possibly that is actually why even certain communications came out, which of course was again a misrepresentation of the actual position.
Kenya Power has been used sometimes as a social company to do projects that are not paid for. So today Kenya Power is owed 26 billion. The kind of money that if they had at their disposal, they could buy all the transformers and buy all the conductors and sort out some of the power losses. We are working on power losses, trying to bring the power losses from a high of about 22.9% to about 16%, both technical, commercial, and so on and so forth. And we have got those deliverables associated with certain timelines so that we can really get this out.
Now, away from that, earlier in the years, Thika Town grappled with floods during the rainy season, disrupting residents' daily routines and hindering trading activities for local hawkers and traders. In 2023, the Kiambu County government launched drainage cleaning operations to safeguard against future floods. Now, as the ongoing El Nino rains persist, Thika residents experience a more resilient and smoothly operating town. Antonio Mbui has more details.
During the rain season, Thika Town was amongst the towns that were affected by the floods, whereby the residents found it difficult to continue with their daily activities.
Sasa kuja kufanya biashara zao kwa sababu ya maji. Wakati serikali ilikuwa inachaguliwa, waliahidi ya kwamba wataweza kufungua mitaro ambayo ilikuwa imefungika na wataweza kutengeneza barabara zingine mpya ama njia zingine za kuweza kuelekeza maji kwa njia ambayo iliyo sabamba.
Traders like hawkers found it difficult to handle their activities since the flood occupied their business areas. After which, county government of Kiambu started the operation of cleaning the drainage areas to ensure all activities goes well even during the rain season.
Na mimi ni mfanyabiashara hapa Thika Town, na tuseme maji haifiki hapa sana. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru serikali kufanya hivyo, tunakaa pahali hakuna maji. Na sisi ni vile tu biashara hakuna, serikali baadaye imefanya vizuri, lakini baadaye ingine inatuvinyia na makoti kama anatuambia tufanye kitu hatuwezi.
Kutusafishia huku 1 2 3 unaona, lakini tafadhali kazi zingine kama hizi za kusafisha huku zinafaa tupewe sisi watu wenye wako chini, si hao wenye wako juu. Kuna watu wengine wako juu buda, nikiongea ukweli unaona, wenye wanga wanatuandika majina, wameishi kutuandika majina zetu ya kutuita mikutano ingine sijui mikutano ya nini, wengine wanatumia majina zetu, wanaenda kutoa pesa, wanakura. Unaona, ukija kutafuta kazi wanatuambia tukuje kesho kutwa.
Hapa siku nyingine kulikuwa kumejaa maji, unaona. Sasa naona kwa fiti. Hii gavana zaiambia imefanya vizuri, lakini haijafanya vizuri vile. Hata sisi tungekuwa tuko hiyo kazi, na si ati nini, hata maidi tuko nazo, unaona. Watu waambie watuitie kazi.
Sisi tunataka watupee kazi hadi sisi tujimudu kimaisha.
Ya mahala hapa Thika ni heko, kwa sababu jambo hilo limeweza kuwafurahisha wafanyabiashara, wakaazi, hata wapita njia, hata wale ambao wanatembea katika mji huu waezi jua kwamba kulikuwa na shida.
Kwa hivyo hata wakivugua hivyo, hata hii mambo mengine wabadilishe ikuwe mzuri kidogo, juu hata mitaro wakivungua, kazi yangu nimefungua vizuri na hakuna kitu nitaenda nyumbani, nitaenda kukula nini. Kwa hivyo hata wakivua mitaro waangalie pande ile ingine wale walimewachagua. Nikifinyika leo mtaro hii siwezi kwenda kukula pale kwa mtaro, lakini amefungua mtaro akanifanya vizuri, lakini hiyo kazi nikiwekelea hapo hakuna kazi inaendelea. Kwa hivyo watu angalie pande zote.
With the El Nino rain being experienced worldwide, Thika residents have the reason to thank the county government for working on the drainage system. However, the youths are also calling for the county leadership to create job opportunities to them. Reporting for TAS TV from Thika, Kiambu County, my name is Anton Ombui Ogechi.
Now, let's cross over to the sports side. The Safari Sevens rugby tournament has received a major boost with a generous 15 million Kenya shillings sponsorship from Kenya Breweries Limited. This sponsorship will not only enhance the upcoming Safari Sevens event scheduled from November 17th to 19th, but will also contribute to the weekend's highly anticipated Victoria Cup rugby match against Uganda in Kisumu. The Safari Sevens makes a triumphant return for the first time since 2021, promising an exciting weekend of intense rugby action.
It's just the first of a long now running relationship. We want to revive it. It's already revived now. Safari Sevens is going to be a big event. Not as big as it used to be, but we are starting off. As you said, we have missed a number of them. So we are starting next weekend. A few good teams have confirmed.
Sports, as you know, we support sports, not only rugby, but we support a lot of sports in the country, and that is because we believe in the positive attributes that sports gives to the nation, but also the fact that Kenya is able to get onto the map, the world map and the global map, because of its performance in sports.
It's now that time that we get a little entertained as we learn something. Let's get some from The Brain Busters by Anthony Ombui Ogechi.
Mambo vipi? Na leo niko katika mtaa wa Thika, nauliza mambo vipi, unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Tony.
Sasa kuna ugonjwa wa parachichi, ni ugonjwa gani huo?
Si ufahamu.
Sasa kigonjeka ugonjwa wa parachichi wa anasikianga aje?
Sijaiona mmoja.
Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta,
unasikianga huo ugonjwa unaitwa parachichi?
Sijaisikia. Parachichi si ni avocado ama?
Kuna ugonjwa wa parachichi unasababishwa na nini?
Parachuchu.
Say what?
Inasababishwa na bakteria. Bakteria inaitwa Plasmodium vivax.
Parachichi. Parachichi ni avocado.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Ati paramisi sijui ugonjwa inaitwa parachichi.
24th December, watu wana celebrate nini?
Christmas.
Mm. 24th December watu wanasherehekea nini?
Christmas.
24th December watu na celebrate nini?
24 December tuna celebrate Boxing Day.
Uongo. Hiyo ni uongo bwana. Hakuna. Hiyo ni uongo hiyo.
24th December labda watu na celebrate nini?
Christmas Eve.
Kuna watu walikuwa wawili na wakakufa katika mpaka wa Kenya na Uganda, wakanusurika yani. Sasa hao watu ambao walinusurika katika huu mpaka watazikwa katika nchi gani?
Kenya.
Wapi? Wewe ulisikia wapi?
Kuna hao watu wawili ambao walinusurika kifo katika mpaka wa Uganda na Tanzania, wangezikwa wapi?
Kwa mpaka.
Wawili walinusurika kifo katika mpaka wa Uganda na Kenya. Unaona? Sasa watu ambao walinusurika kifo kwa mpaka wa Uganda na Kenya wangezikwa wapi?
Mmoja angezikwa Kenya, mmoja azikwe Uganda.
Ulisikia wapi? Ulisikia wapi?
Hao watu wawili ambao walinusurika kifo katika mpaka wa Uganda na Tanzania na Kenya wangezikwa wapi?
Si hawakukufa. Si mtu yurudi kwa
That marks the end of our Brain Busters. Join me next time. My name is Anton Ombuyogechi.
Well, the Brain Busters marks the end of today's news recap. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you learned something. Join me same time, same place next week. My name is Lavin Nyagowa. Have a good weekend.
Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagowa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then.